If you have to sin to get it, then that is not a blessing, and God didn't direct you there. 100. Oh, hold on. 100. 100. 100. Hey, y'all. It's Dolores, the pastor's daughter. Okay, so for our quote and question of the day, okay, QQOTD, okay, it's this one right here. If you have to sin to get it, then that is not a blessing, and God didn't direct you there. 100, 100, 100. So, okay, just like most of these other quotes, I don't know who the author is. I just saw it and I liked it. So, I figured I would share it with you guys. So, when I first saw this quote, obviously, not obviously, but I did think about my father and, um, and all of the things that he did in the past. And maybe was a bit, misguided. Maybe, not maybe, it was actually like there was a lot of times where I felt like my father cut corners, bent the rules, and you know, and in a lot of cases just flat out lied. Um, and a lot of those times it was under the guise of church business, of doing something for God, or, some other noble reason or moral reason. So it's like doing immoral or unethical or sometimes illegal things in the name of God or in the name of building the church. And that's what I thought about initially. But then, I kind of expand that thought process to think about, you know, all of us, and all of the times that we bent the rules or, we lied a little, we did things that were less than righteous, they were wrong in some cases, illegal in some cases. And we did it and we told ourselves that it was for a good reason or it was for a good cause or it didn't hurt anybody. And so, that's what I thought about when I just expanded my mind a bit to think about how this quote applies to all of us. And I mean, there's some situations that, when you really think about it, some of you have dated married men or married women, and then you ended up marrying that person, like you stole them from someone else, and you just felt like, that person was a blessing, that person was from God, and, that person was created for you. And it's just like, how? Like, how can you, you know, take someone else's, and then claim that that it was of God, or that it was a blessing from God. It just, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense when you really think about it. And if you have to do the wrong thing, then that's not of God, because God wouldn't do that. No one even put us in that position to have to bend the rules um or do things illegally, and I know sometimes that, we put these rules in place, and these, some rules, we end up breaking them, they change, I'm not really speaking about that. I'm not speaking about those things that are kind of fluid, where we're just trying to figure things out. There are things that we just know, like, outright, come on, it's like, come on, that's not right. And this is one of those things. The example that I gave is that, you can't take someone else's spouse, and then, claim that they're a blessing from God, when you had to do, wrong things to get them. So it just kind of like falls right into that. And it's just, how many times have we done that, and or something has happened and we just consider it to be a blessing. And I think sometimes we probably need to realize that, God wouldn't do that to us. Sometimes what we do to each other, put each other in positions where we're breaking the rules, where we're doing what doesn't feel right, what's not morally right, what doesn't feel right in our spirit. And then we rationalize it and we say that, well, it was a blessing. Basically, we're gaslighting ourselves. And I think it's about time that we start realizing that if this is the God that we say we serve, then we have to really seriously ask ourselves that question: would he put us in these positions? Or is that someone's distortion of who God is and what God is about? And if that's someone's distortion, then they're not being a very good representative of the love of God and who God is and what God stands for. And that's damaging. It's damaging to us as a community and individually. It's damaging to our spirit. It's damaging to our faith. And really, it just kind of makes us crazy. Because we have to figure out some type of way to rationalize in engaging in, less than righteous behavior and then saying that it's God. So that's why this quote resonated with me today, and why it challenged me to expand my, thought process to how we've all done this, and maybe we can learn a lot from a narcissistic pastor. Is that maybe where we notice these extreme behaviors in him and others like him, we can also take a self-evaluation, and start to look at how we've displayed these behaviors. And maybe we just did them on a smaller scale, and so we feel like we're not as bad. But then again, we serve a God who doesn't really, scale our sins like that. It doesn't weigh them out. It's just sin. It just is what it is. And so it says what I get from this quote today. And maybe we should, all take a look at the things that we've done and the things that we've acquired in life, the things that we didn't acquire in the right way. We didn't do them the right way. And we explain them off as God, but maybe we really need to just go ahead and get that right. Make that right. Because that wasn't God. That was you. It was you and your flesh, misguided and rationalizing. So that's your challenge today, I guess. Let's just take some deeper looks inside. Let's do some self-evaluation and just, check ourselves. Check in, And if you've done things that were less than righteous or just outright wrong, make that right. Fix it. All right? I love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.